So, to start, I want to give a definition of what an aesthetic is. According to Merriam-Webster, an aesthetic is a particular theory or conception of beauty of art, a particular taste for or approach to what is pleasing to the senses, and especially sight. An aesthetic experience for the audience is created by using modularity, form, and color. By using these elements, designers are able to convey emotion that they want from its viewers. The first way they do this is through modularity. According to Ellen Lupton, modularity is a special kind of design, sided within a larger system or structure. Examples include building materials, Legos, and pixels. It helps designers create structure and constraints. Using the steps stated by Corin of invention, arrangement, style, memory, and delivery, I went ahead to build a classroom that was both functional and beautiful. I wanted my classroom to be located at the beach and have beachy vibes. This is why I chose big windows that open outward towards the views and could be seen from any point. I also chose to use a long table because I wanted to promote group interaction between the students. I really wanted this environment to be collaborative and calming for the students. Then the next aesthetic is form. Form is how designers structure their pieces to convey their message. For example, Debbie Millman wrote a piece about herself, and instead of just typing the narrative, she hand-stitched it into a needlepoint board. She was trying to convey her message through the form by stating, "For me, DIY was not a novel concept, and I realize now that my mother and grandmother must have had the same delight when they devoted so much time for making clothes for me." Since she hand-stitched it with the needlepoint, Millman invoked feelings of nostalgia in her audience. Next, another example can be found in Frank Chimero. He analyzed the question what it means to natively design for screens. He stated, "I couldn't get the question out of my mind. The way the answer is never what you expect, so I was surprised that mine began with a routine trip to the pharmacy." To discuss the answer to Chimero's question, I made my own online essay. I tried to mimic the form of Chimero's essay by using the pictures on the slides. For example, I used a clear picture of aspirin to represent that he talked about aspirin, and I also showed how the Max form has changed over years from a big box to a sleeker design. My project conveyed the emotions through the aesthetics, and pathos was used. Big companies typically will do this to make people feel bad and donate money. For example, St. Jude's in the ASPCA shows pictures and forms pictures of sick kids and dogs to make people more likely to donate. The final design tool designers use is color. According to Betty Edwards, color conveys a mood, describes a reality, or codifies information. Color also carries different connotations in different cultures. For example, according to Betty Edwards, yellow is an ambiguous color. It is the color of gold, sunlight, happiness, intellect, enlightenment, envy, disgrace, and deceit. As you can see, yellow has both happy connotations and negative connotations. In Islam, golden yellow is the color of wisdom. In the Chinese Qing dynasty, only the emperor was allowed to wear yellow. And for Christians, since Judas wore yellow, it's now the color of betrayal. Looking at my final project, I wanted an immediate association with the jewelry store of Tiffany's, so I used pops of blue and fancy jewelry throughout the background to clearly convey that the piece was about the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. Furthermore, colors in the real world are used in advertising to make people angry, and other colors can make people sad. There's psychological research on what colors next to each other are more likely to make people buy them. By using the connotations of the colors, designers are able to get the desired emotion from their audience. It's all about the flash perception when you're looking at things and seeing them, as Corinne has talked about. In conclusion, using the design elements of form, color, and modularity help designers get emotion out of their audience.